When you buy an old house, you're always going to run into unexpected issues, especially if you buy a foreclosure that's been empty for years. In today's video, I'm going to tell you about a problem that just popped up. Thankfully, the wall was open in the master bathroom, and we could discover that there was a leak coming from the main bathroom tub. All right, turn it on.
What, the shower or the tub?
Start with the tub. Stop! All right, I see it. Oh boy. Thank God we tried the tub while the wall was open. Once upon a time, a boy met a girl working for a mouse. They fell in love and realized they'd never own their own home working for the mouse. So they packed up a big truck and moved to New Jersey, lived in a basement to save money for a year, and bought a foreclosure to fix up while they lived there. This is their story. It's a good faucet. I mean, it's Kohler. It's definitely loose. Yeah, that sucker was leaking. I realized I had two leaks. The first one was coming out here, and it was just squirting back in from the tub. That's the tub filler, the spout. Now the second problem I had was I noticed water was dripping down the wall here too. So it was not only the tub spout, but it was also the valve itself. Well, we were hoping that they'd be able to move in next weekend, but and that was, we knew the master bathroom wouldn't be ready, but we were expecting that the main bathroom would be usable. But with this new development, it doesn't even seem like that's possible. So I just ran home for some tools to see if I can take apart the old shower valve and figure out why that's leaking too. Otherwise, we may be doing two bathrooms at once. Not fun. But this is what happens when you buy an old house. I ran home. Whoop. Don't go down the drain, that would be bad. So that I could take this off. Good. Well, that's step one anyway. It's all rusted. Oof.
Eventually.
All right, well, let me go to the plumbing supply and see if I can get another one of these things. Fingers crossed. All right, as luck would have it, thankfully it's Saturday, and Aaron and Company, who is a sponsor of this series, is open until 1 o'clock, and I was able to bring this into them, and they had another one. They only had two in stock, but they had it. Cost us $100, but that's what it takes to fix it. So, and it's raining like crazy. Now, I didn't show it, but to turn the water off, you've got these two shutoffs, and when the valve is open, when the escutcheon is off inside, you can put a screwdriver in and turn these off and then back on. That's the way you actually can service the valve without turning the water off to the whole house. Aha. That's how that comes out. So these faucets are made to be taken apart, and those cartridges are made to be changed. So everything in here is just brass, so that shouldn't have to change. All right, this is the replacement part for it. It has everything that fits into that brass rough-in. So if this doesn't fix it, it can't be fixed. You got these little O-rings in here. I can't see. There we go. That's one. And that's 2. Looks good. Now this valve is 2 parts. There's actually the part that goes inside. That one is the pressure balancing part of it. And what that does is if you flush a toilet, it won't scald whoever's taking a shower. This one is the temperature mixing portion. So the hot and the cold are mixed based on the turn of the single handle. So you really have to replace both. If you have a leak in your valve like that, you really got to replace both. And you could see, I could tell that the washers and whatnot were actually pretty dry. So maybe that was because it wasn't used very much lately because it was a foreclosure, but it really needed to be replaced. New O-rings, and that goes in there. Just like that. Thankfully, they included the lubricant that is needed for these O-rings. And now that just goes in here. Note that I initially installed this valve upside down, which meant hot and cold were reversed, but then I realized the mistake and corrected it off camera. And this goes on here. All right, I turned the water back on. Let's just give it a little test here. Looks good. I don't see any leaks there. Now let me go around the back. All right, water's running in there. Let's try. All right. I think that did it. I just have to take a quick second here and recognize how well my wife cleaned up this faucet. She soaked it in a mild vinegar solution and then scrubbed it with a magic eraser, and it looked beautiful, brand new. Oh yeah, that's good and tight, but I think I could go around one more time. Yeah. All right, with a combination of a glove and my channel locks, I got it around one more turn, and it looks good. It's nice and tight, and a little bit of caulk around it, no problem. And the valve looks good too. My wife cleaned it up nice, and I caulked around that too. So we are back in business. Now before I caulk that, I want to do one more test. We reinstalled the shower head, and the reason why it's important to test this again is because when we pull up on this, it increases the pressure in the line, and that's what makes it come out the shower head. So hopefully we won't have another leak in here. Now, let me check behind the wall. Valve looks good, and I don't see any leaking there. I'd say we've solved that problem. So that'll be nice and watertight. And the other thing to remember is you don't caulk the bottom. And that way, if it leaks, it will leak down the tile instead of into the wall. If you caulk the bottom, the water has nowhere to go but in the wall. So I didn't caulk the bottom of that either. But you can't tell when you're standing in it. It looks beautiful. Now the kind of caulk that I'm using is this 100% waterproof silicone caulk. This is white, obviously. This is not your traditional painter's caulk that you use around baseboards and molding and things like that. And you just need a finger and a paper towel to clean it up and make it look nice. The escutcheon on the back of it said it was manufactured in 2007. So I figured, well, all right, let's say it was installed in 2008. That's 12 years. It's 2020. That's really not that long. I would have expected that valve to last longer than that. Hope you found this helpful. If you did, give it a thumbs up, and I will see you in the next one. If you'd like to win one of several official Living Flip hats, complete with a HandyDadTV button, please be sure to subscribe to the channel, like the video, and leave a comment below. Thanks.